Apex eSports League. I'm JT, and tonight we're on iRacing for the Pagnian Import Supercars Championship. It is the final round of the 5-round series, and that sees us at Phillip Island Circuit tonight. And then the session at Phillip Island. We've got 10 minutes of practice. Weather conditions are clear. There's 10 minutes qualifying and a 40-minute race with the cars capped at 47% fuel, meaning they're going to have to stop to take fuel to finish out the race. And Phillip Island usually even may require 2 stops as well, so it's going to make things a little interesting. Now, standings coming into the final round, we have Blake Warboys on a strong lead for the championship, essentially just needing to come through and have a ordinary round with a complete clean of any penalties and will guarantee a championship win. So there's going to be only 260 points up for maximum grabs for a clean sweep, so that's going to be keeping him pretty safe for tonight's round. And then for chasing the rest of the podium then is then Robbie Bradbury in second place and Ricky Hyde in third, and it's still tight with plenty of movement opportunities from tonight's race. Last week we were at Winton for round 4, and it was Blake Warboys who came through with a clean sweep again, taking pole position, the fastest lap bonus points, and then securing that race win. And tonight is going to be our last chance to get the bigger entries into our viewers prize to be able to win the Next Level Racing Light 3 standing monitor stand. What you do is make sure you're a follower on our Twitch, jump in the chat, comment Next Level Racing, and you'll score yourself 2 entries into the draw. And then once the video goes up live on YouTube, you can jump across and then comment on that within the week, and you'll get an extra entry against that account. But you need to make sure you're a subscriber and have your subscriber status set to public so that we can track your entry. Then we'll jump over, check out the track. So it's 4.41 kilometers long for Phillip Island, and there's a whole bunch out there. It's trying to get as much time in for practice. So we'll jump trackside and see how they are faring. That's a turnaround for Lev Henry as we crossed over. If you are new to our channel, be sure to hit the follow button. Great if we can wrap up a milestone 350 followers on Twitch before the end of the year. Tonight is our final championship race and stream to wrap up the 2023 season. It's been a fantastic year yet again. It's going to be a pretty exciting race by the look of it. So far 29 drivers are registered in. We've got some debut drivers joining us for tonight's round as well. We've got Ben Morris, Paul Young, so team members joining up. I'll customize through and try and find the others. And we've got Seth Herman, is only just new to iRacing as well. And for those of you that used to join us for our Project Cars 2 streams, racing on the PlayStation, this is Spray and Pray. So, not a newcomer to Apex eSports League. Just new to the platform. And out there driving the Commodore, so be rather impressed being able to have both options, as there's only the FG Falcon available in Project Cars 2. The best to our new members debuting tonight. From the looks of things too, Van Morris and Paul Young both have some speed to them. Setting 128.6 and 128.7. Our fastest in the practice session is Scott Gamble. He's had superb pace throughout the series. Caught up at Bathurst with dramas, putting him down towards mid-pack. And another debut driver in session 2, Matthew Shanahan. Welcome aboard as well. It's good to see one of the Team VGA guys getting across. We love to support Veteran Gaming Australia. There's practice complete. And now only 10 minutes to get some qualifying in. Look at all those cars scrambling for position on that pit exit. Hopefully all our PR drivers recovered from their antics from Friday night, where we got to be able to cover their annual team event. Some no damage, no rules racing in the Pro 2 trucks. Jump back and check out the stream for that as well. Simmons got a pretty neat car. Is it a Grinch? A little bit of a festive car. Oh, a little bit of traffic banking up here. They're trying to space some time out there. First time laps are done. Way through. I'm not sure if our War Boys is in session. Could potentially be an opportunity to take away. A clean sweep by someone could be enough to be able to potentially just swap that over. It's actually timing that first lap. It's rather interesting. Overshoots. That's turn 2. Catch a full lap. There's Simon Vella. It's coming up onto approach to the final corners. Hot lap on board the Mustang with Simon Vella. line for turn 1. And a couple of different ways to treat. Turn 2, double apex. Some will just feather tight all the way through. Down into the first hairpin. Loose in the rear, powering out of it those cold tyres. Now down, use that exit curve to stabilise the rear. Flat stick to the left and right. And then approach up onto the hill. Use that engine braking, then feather the throttle over the crest and then down the hill. Sometimes I play with the brake bias to try and stabilise the braking down that slope into the hairpin. And the most crucial corner, about to chain another lap together. Corner makes you really want to turn in a little bit too early. It's going to cost you and you're going to miss that exit strip. That's a 129.778. Simon Vella, from no time on the board up into P11, and there wasn't much turn in there. Pole position going to Gamble at 128.2. Paul Young only a couple of attempts behind. If you want to get in the draw, to be able to win that monitor stand, you need to be able to be putting in the chat next level racing. Maybe a bit of assisting going on here between Morris and Young as well. Sitting nice and close with each other. They're very similarly paced. They may take a turn each just to give a little bit of a slipstream. It's not going to be getting held up if they're very similarly paced out there. Visma doing well. Cross. First driver to get into a 29. He's almost into the 28 bracket. 29 flat. Scrape up. So Tucker, not sure what he's done there, if there's been some car contact. It's going to be costly with only 2 minutes left. You could quickly scramble out on track and get one time to lap in. So they were loaded across into the qualifying pretty quick, so there may be a little bit of delay. Oh, there's a crunch. That looks like Lynn's car. Yep, it's just blinked out. He's brought the car back into the pits. Few cars parked up, so probably not going to have enough time to get another qualifying lap in. It's got some battle scars on the right hand side. Currently be on iRacing for a few days, done incredibly well. He's been practicing pretty hard. He will be, said he will be trying to stay out of the way of everyone. $50 seconds left to qualifying. Schweff's on a pretty good lap here. Crosses the line with a 130. Actually, no, he's still on a lap before bringing it in by the look of it. So it was the control line just ahead of him. So it must have been already down. Hopefully that worked for you, Gal. John Gallen looking at DQ, not sure what's going on there to cop that. Ricky Bunt's just joined in. Checkered flag. Qualifying done for the final round. The final time for 2023. Haley's back out on track. I don't think he's going to get time lapping by the looks of things. Cochran might be able to get enough time through. So we'll take a look at qualifying results now. For the final round of the Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship, Scott Gamble takes pole position, and then the rest of the starting grid will then be our debut drivers, Ben Morris and Paul Young, then followed by Anthony Visma, Damien Cross, Robbie Bradbury, Royce Lynn, Blake Urquhart, Stephen Banks, Simon Vella, Mick Clifton, Ricky Hyde, Blair Van Reed, John Gallen, Justin Haitley. Then 16 through to 30, we've got Adrian Simpson, Russell Gander, Sam Tucker, Andrew Rushworth, Jim Capronis, Mark Cochran, John Van Reed, Duncan McCrosty, Matthew Shanahan, Phillip Thurlow, Philip Buckland, Stephanie Piccoli, David Simmons, Seth Herman, and Ricky Bunt. And Ricky Bunt just joining in the session right at the back end as well. That was perfect timing, so it's just kicked us over into the session. So minute 20 to grid. So we'll be seeing 30 starting for the final round. John Gallen has grid, so the DQ cleared. Sometimes an off-track around Phillip Island, enough of an infield section can actually give a DQ heading off wrong direction for a little bit. So no DQ's cleared in the race. Getting set for the finale. Usually we always wrap up the Supercars Championship at Bathurst. We mixed it up this time, kept all 5 Australian tracks still. Phillip Island's usually an opener or mid-series race. To grid, and then we are going to be seeing whites drop green. Some of our drivers have been trying to get into entries, jumping in the chat for up next level racing. I'd take a little bit to open up the chat screens. Hopefully they've already got it in beforehand. There we go. White's about to go green. Some gamblers on the pole. start. It's just ahead and has the inside line. He's already having to stick the car in the middle. Play defensive. Look at Morris putting on the pace big time. Too wide for Fairview, down towards the back end. Henry and Rushworth were side by side. Again, always lock up as they come down. That's Ricky Hyde. Sean's gone over if there was a touch. He went right off track. A little bit of contact with the hairpin, that's expected. Actually on lap one. There's a fair few bumps and shunts. Looks like all cars are getting through, just a little bit of scraping going on. If there's ever a chance for safety car requirement at Phillip Island, it'll be lap one coming down into the first hairpin. Fair few gaps forming. The drivers are just holding a nice safe gap between them. So there's definitely going to have to be some fuel conserving strategy to it. You can usually pull about 30 minutes worth of fuel, but it tends to chew up a little bit more around Phillip Island. A lot more pace, a lot more track length. And Simpson seem to have made contact with each other. Simpson's dropped back a little bit. Oh, Haley and Tucker have come together. It's going to be an interesting re-entry here. Some heavy scrapes to the left-hand side and right-hand side. He's been pushed around a bit there. There may be some front-end steering damage to that left-hand wheel. Hyde's been in 4.6 seconds stop, as has Piccoli 9 seconds, so using the fast repair. Some potential meatballs. Across Bradbury, Lynn, all very close. Banks and Van Ree, and that's Blair Van Ree. Rushworth moves up. Looks like an error at the hairpin. Gander costing some speed. He's also going to have McCrossy power to the outside. Sorry. For Gamble. For Furlow to be held back at bay. John Van Ree's going to be giving a bit of pressure there coming down into the hairpin. .29 flat for Gamble and Morris and Young. Some very consistent pace here. Visma's starting to drop back a bit. Holding a nice gap here. Could be opportunity for some fuel conserving. Morris gets loose. Young starting the drop away from Gamble as these tyres have heated up after 3 laps out on the island. And Haley's had to come in. Use the fast repair. So 10.7 second stop. So he's filled the car back up by the look of it as well. Henry's still on the tail of Phillip. Has some big pace on approach to Lynn. He maintains pace through turn 2, one of the trickier ones to be able to nail. Out of the hairpin, a lot quicker than Banks. He's got a bit of a gap on again. Scanner's had some contact. It's back on track pretty quick. Not sure if there's anyone else caught up with it. Maybe with Crosty. Car off to the side as well. Shanahan, John Van Reed, both side by side. Van Reed's got caught out on that line. One's also looking for an opportunity to swing around. Gamble's pushed out the lead over Young now by 1.4 seconds. Some PR cars. Bradbury ahead. He's leading ahead of Cross and Banks. So Banks having fallen back a spot. Cross was a little bit further up earlier as well, so he's dropped back a bit. Still holding on to that gap to Urquhart. A few tenths separating the two. And changing of lines. Oh, a slip from Urquhart. That's going to cost him some pace on the following corners. Will Bradbury capitalise on it? from Lynn, then all of a sudden off track. It's going to be interesting re-entry here. Forced the car wide. That was Banks. It's risky. Comes back on. Coming back in front. Return of the favour there. Screaming ahead. His fastest laps at 1:28.860. Doesn't look like it. His pretty fastest lap of the session so far. Sweep here, and he should be able to claim the championship. It's 260 points on the line. No, sorry, Gambler's not there. That is Robbie Bradbury that's within that range. It's well mixed up with points-wise there. Bradbury in 6th. Once again, very clean sweep. Already got the pole. So it's 50 points out of the way there. Racewing could get 200. Points for all boys. 810 to Bradbury. Apologies there, Robbie. It's getting your standing mixed up with Scott's. Bismar's managed to take P3 away from Morris. Moves to the inside of turn 1. I don't think it was going to be a committed turn. Just starting to probe around Bismarck. A bit of pressure on. Lap traffic was for Coley. Letting Gamble through. Young will now be up on approach. Goes around the outside. Coley puts herself offline there. Steers, turn 2. Ronas gets a pit out of the way. minute mark. Stays to the outside. Cuts to the inside, runs off track. What's going on with this drum? What's going on with Caperonis? Back a little bit. Jaffe is holding to Urquhart. It's fallen to half a second. Starting nearly put a second over teammate Damien Cross behind. Swing off the infield, takes some heavy damage, tows the car. Gets a couple off tracks, lots of control, just having a spin. Wants to be standalone. It's pretty good to be almost at the halfway point. The only tow so far. I think grass doesn't slow up the cars too much with an off track. There's ample run-off space. There is still plenty of walls around. Even the sand traps not overly slowing things up around here. Exited the car. Leader, standing at lead after 12 laps, now out to 2.7, climbing to 2.8 seconds. Front end damage there for Bunt. And then coming in the pits now. Battles going on currently. I didn't see Catherine in pit lane to see them coming in. Morris first of and Young. First of the leaders to bring the car in for fuel just past the halfway mark. So they've reached to this point. They're going to be fine for a one-stopper. well, gets back underway. As has Cross. Went straight behind. But I can't have Bradbury on his tail before. Bradbury stayed out on track. Young. So the switchback going on for Young. It's very clean and tidy. Pits. John Gallen's out in the lead. Gamble, having had his pit, 19.4 seconds stop. Taking fuel and tyres. Cochrane stays out. P2 with Gamble. Resuming straight back into P3 with the two cars ahead. Required to stop. There's only 10 seconds, just 11 seconds difference. It still makes quick work. Young, Bradbury, Morris, Visma. The roll behind there will come in. Gamble well ahead. Gamble stop a little bit longer. Spend an extra second and a half in the box. Taking a full fuel load could mean that they're maybe a little bit of conserving towards the back end. Will that potentially pay off for Visma? We can hear Gallen conserving here. In this lap, sounded like he was clutching down in the braking zones. That is. It's going to be interesting. Will he be able to get it around? Is there some strategy amongst this? Case it could be potentially the same issue going on for Cochrane. He's stayed out. These are the only two drivers to still be out on track and not have taken fuel. There's been some earlier stops. Most of those have already come in and grabbed the fuel. They had to come in those opening laps to use fast repairs. Clutching like John Gallen. Pits. John Gallen ends up making it. The last of the front runners heading into the pits now. Scott Gamble takes back race lead, currently on lap 17. Did lead for 14 laps. John Gallen will take over for 2 laps after the fuel stops from the front runners at that point. And Lynn did retire the car. as he had before. Everyone peeled off for fuel. Meant to climb up a little bit higher. Some drop-offs. It's from Morris. There's about a 5-second gap between the two. So maybe the pit entry wasn't great, or there's been some extra dramas for Visma as well. Maybe been held up with some traffic. It's a runoff. John Gallen conserving and grabbing that fuel. He's in a top 10 spot. Things grabbed a couple of spots for him. So everyone should be able to be homeward bound. Fuel loads now. So too many intense battles. It's probably going to be chewing up the fuel. Traffic here. Oh, Furlow locks up, goes for the inside for a very late move. Lands into McCrosty. Just moves aside, redress. Well done, Phillip. Okay. Urquhart have a dig at Bradbury. Gonna try and pull a switch here. Not enough to stick the nose in here. It's going to put offline the following left-hander. Slips. The momentum loss. 10.5 minutes left on the clock now. Seven laps left to the race. 10 minutes on the clock. Gamble holding a fantastic lead. 3.5 seconds now. ahead. Extending the race lead. Back pace. Previous lap of 129.8. His fastest is of 28.8. Lap of 130. Contending with lap traffic as well. And a solid run out there on the island. Paul Young and Ben Morris, fantastic in podium positions. They got a nice gap. Young's got a pretty solid gap over Morris. Wisman's got over 6 seconds. Catch up to a podium spot. So fuel stops all went to plan. There may not be opportunity to claim a podium finish. Banks ahead of Bradbury. There's a very close gap. Fighting it out with Gander. He gives up the position. Out the fight. Right, had to make an early stop as well. Pretty sure he took damage on the opening lap. We saw him off track. Straight leading to hairpin 1. Done well to be able to climb back up in the 16th position. Make multiple stops. Mainly, he's had a very long stop. The time for pits is quite long, so you may have had to park up and go and do something for a stop that long. Gets the car back out on track. It's unfortunate for Haley. There's a bit of push and shove with his car at the early moments of the race. We saw him off track. Gaps settled quite comfortably now. Bradbury right on the tail of Banks. He's not going to really have to worry about going for a fight and take a spot here. I think it's going to affect his championship. It should still be a comfortable second place. It's a fair way back. It's about a 60-point difference. It's going to mean Blake Warboys is our Pagnian Imports Supercars champion. Final round with enough points. Only a clean sweep from Bradbury to set to take that away. Oh, bunt. The blue flags low, so they gamble through. The lock up nearly tank slapped that car across in the gamble. That could have been disastrous for Gamble. So we've only 2 laps left in it. Miller and Simpson. Super close here. Position. Very close. Seconds left on the clock. Enough time for Gamble to be able to get around and cross the control line before the countdown. This is the second last lap. It's a white flag out. Last lap. Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship in 2023. 5.1 second lead for Gamble. There's no real battles going on. Closest gap for a spot here is for Vela to try and take it from Simpson. Simpson's going to have to grow that car wide. Vela is definitely on the attack here. He's got some pretty good pace. Some team orders there. Banks letting Bradbury slip through. Simpson doing real well here, or he gets a little unstable. He's going to have to stick some elbows out here to stop Vela from getting through. He nearly probes up the inside. There's going to be another lap, and this is from the track positioning Gamble when he crosses the line. Oh, hides. Oh, fellas had to come in the pits. Doesn't have enough fuel to get home, so that means Hyde moves up. And here comes Gamble, checking flag out. Takes the race win in the final round. So it should be a clean sweep. It may have actually just pipped his fastest lap. Ben Morris. Paul Young takes podium in P2. Ben Morris P3. His fastest lap, a 28.840. Fastest lap for Gamble was 28.860. So just missing out on the clean sweep, but he's very tight. Remy should be fourth. Banks in fifth. A little bit of a change there because there's all sorts of weird data. If they cross the line, we'll see correct results soon. Simpson and Hyde still racing here. So we're just ahead of Gamble when he was approaching, so he's one lap in it. Bella had to come in and grab fuel just to finish out the race. His boxes before the control line, so he missed out on that extra lap. Simpson manages to fend off 13th from Vela and then quickly approaching Hyde. Well done. Some post race antics to go on now. What a series. It was a pretty tidy race in the scheme of it as well, so well done to the drivers. Take a look at our results now. So 27 laps we saw at Phillip Island for the final round of the Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship. Scott Gamble is our race winner. Then joining him on the podium in P2 is Paul Young, and then in P3 is Ben Morris. So both for Paul and Ben debuting with Apex tonight. So well done on a fantastic run. And then the rest of our standings in the final round is then Anthony Visma, Robbie Bradbury. Just got a pop-up just come up in the front of my screen, so couldn't see names. And then we've got Stephen Banks, Blake Urquhart, Blair Van Reed, Damien Cross, Mick Clifton, Mark Cochran, Sam Tucker, Andrew Rushworth, Adrian Simpson, Ricky Hyde. And then at 16 through to 30, we've got Russell Gander, Duncan McCrosty, Philip Furlow, Simon Vella, John Van Reet, Matthew Shanahan, John Gallen, Philip Buckland, Jim Caparonis, Ricky Bunt, David Simmons, Stephanie Piccoli, Seth Herman, Justin Haitley, and Royce Lynn. Not sure if our guys will jump into the chat or not. It's compulsory for our drivers to have to jump in. Thank War Boys and all the other ones. He's just silently come in and taken his points. And to do well to come into the final round with enough points to be able to secure this championship as well. That's with his debut joining up Apex eSports League, so phenomenal run for him in that. Guys, so we'll leave that. That is the end of our Pagnian Imports Supercars Championship and our last championship event for 2023. It's been a fantastic year, and a big thank you to all our viewers for coming and supporting the league and all our drivers. They put in a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat and effort just to be able to get to these races and then put on a great show for us all to sit back and enjoy the action from, and it's been a phenomenal round to finish up the year as well. And then coming on to next year, so we'll be having a 4-week break for the end of year Christmas period, and then we'll be coming back into a whole brand new format. So we've usually done 5-round series, so we're going to be extending that out. So starting off with the Pagnian Imports Formula 4 Trophy, that will be an 8-round series. We will be kicking up to 10-round series later on, so it's just cut short as we're having an extra time to have a break at the start of 2024. So it's going to be a great way to bring in a year of racing with an 8-round series in the Formula Ford. So that's the Ray FF 1600s, and it's following the official D-Class series as well. So if you are a big fan of those cars, do make sure to hit the follow button so you can be notified when we go live. So we're back same time as usual, same schedule on the Monday nights, 7:35 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time with the stream. And then if you want to get involved in our racing, do check out our socials. There will be links throughout to join our league, and you can get involved. Our race sessions start at 7:30 p.m. and get in and have a great race. So it's going to be a huge series following the track schedule. So we'll be over to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Phoenix Raceway, and we're also into Lagos, and we've got Sandown, also at Charlotte, Long Beach, Road Atlanta, and Rudskogan as well. So it's going to be ample opportunity for lots of great racing to happen in these open wheelers, and a great little car to throw around as well, so don't miss that one. So thanks heaps for tuning in throughout the year. Make sure to hit that follow button. You got a small amount of chance to be able to get those entries in for the Next Level Racing Light freestanding monitor stand. So before the streamers, you'll need to chuck up Next Level Racing if you're already following, and you'll get those entries. That also goes for our drivers that can quickly tune in. That sometimes happens even in the breaks in the pits as well. So thanks. Hopefully we'll catch you again in the new year, and thanks for all the support throughout 2023. Bye.